this. Well, my notes say we did 7, but I honestly don't recognize it. So let's do it again.
All right.
Second, let me do one thing here. Blow it up a little bit, and let me add this new feature that I'm in love with. All right. So, how are we going to do this? What do you do when you have same base, different exponents, and the bases are being divided?
You subtract the exponents.
Okay, so we've got a squared minus b squared equals what?
16.
Okay. A squared minus b squared, look familiar? What's that called?
Oh, Pythagorean. So.
Not quite. No, that's actually a squared plus b squared. This is difference of perfect squares.
Okay.
Factor it.
A plus b, a minus b.
Yep. Whenever you see difference of perfect squares in a math problem, at 90% of the time you're supposed to factor it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now it tells you that a plus b equals 2. That's equal to 2. What's a minus b equal to?
8.
8? Is that what you said?
Yep.
That's how you do that. All right, number 8. These are tough. I've noticed that even on practice test 3, the first 9 are all tough. There are no easy ones on this college readiness board.
The measure of an exterior angle of a regular polygon is greater than 50 degrees. Oh, okay. I read that wrong. Okay.
What are we going to do to solve it? We've got NA equals 360. And they're telling us that A is at least 50. So if I plug 50 in for A,
Divided by 50.
now what is N?
360 divided by 50, which is 7.2. So 7.
7.2.
Mm-hmm. So BC.
Yes, because obviously it's either 7 or 8, and it can't be 8.
Mm-hmm.
Because we wouldn't be able to have a 50-degree angle if we had 8 sides. If you have 7 sides, you can have a 50-degree angle. You can probably have a 51-degree angle.
Yeah, for a second I thought that was saying, I thought I was talking about interior angles, not exterior angles. So I was about to say, like, there's an infinite, it goes infinitely.
Right.
Interior.
Now, I don't know if they specifically make these harder than necessary.
Yeah, the non-calculator portion of the test is specifically made to be harder to test your math skills. The calculator portion is just to see how much information you can chug through.
Okay.
At least that's what they told me at my SAT class.
Okay. These questions seem harder than I'm used to for SAT questions. And I didn't know whether it was because they're giving us mainly the medium to difficult questions, or are they really giving us a random sampling of all the questions? I don't think so, because I haven't seen an easy one yet. And I know there's some easy ones on the SAT. Don't they start you out with easy ones? The first.
Yeah, it's generally a progression of 15.
That's what I've seen on all the practice SAT tests that I used to do. Of course, 2016, they changed it. So you're taking a substantially different SAT test now than prior to 2016.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at number 9. I think it's extremely helpful to have a picture here. Hold on. Just to see what's going on. In other words, what was the slope?
It's 2. Your y-intercept would be 6. If you go over 1 down 2, it's the y-intercept is 6 and 1/8.
We go to the point 1, 8, which is right there. And so there's the picture.
Yep. And then you can just use the change in y over change in x.
Yeah, the second line goes through 1, 2, which is right there, and also 2, 1, which is right there. So that's the picture. And this point right there is A, B.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you tell me the equation of the first line? The one with positive slope.
One with positive slope is y equals 2x plus 6.
The one with negative slope.
Y equals 1/2 x. Negative 1/2 x, sorry. I think, I don't know the y-intercept. 1 second. 1, 2, 2, 1, so.
Actually, isn't the slope of the second one -1? In other words, the difference in the y-coordinates is 1, the difference in the x-coordinates is -1.
Well, wouldn't it be, if it's the, if it's an intersecting line, it would be the conjugate of the previous slope.
Not necessarily. Didn't say it was a perpendicular intersecting line. It's just intersecting. Okay? So we have to figure out this line all on its own. The only information we have is the slope, but the slope appears to be -1 to me. In other words, the rise over the run between those 2 points, I don't know if you can even see where I'm pointing, but from that point to that point is -1. No matter how you do it. If you do y sub 2 minus 1.
Yeah, it's -1.
Okay, so it's -1. Let's see if we can figure out what the b-intercept is, because then the problem becomes really easy. Not the b-intercept, the y-intercept. Well, we know the equation of a line when we're given 2 points or 1 point and a slope. Let's go over here. Here's the standard equation of a line, right?
You just plug in.
Well, you start with the slope, which is -1. Pick one of the points, plug it in for x and y, and we'll solve for b. So,
2.
You want to pick 2, 1?
I was just going to say, put in...
Doesn't matter.
1, 2.
Well, I picked the second one already. In other words, the y-coordinate is 1, the x-coordinate is 2, That's going to give you the same b as if I'd have picked the other point. B is 3. So the equation of the second line is minus x plus 3. Now, what do we do next? We have the equation of our two lines. Where do they intersect? When what is the case? When one is equal to the other. That's the intersection point.
So it would be -1.
Well, don't get too far ahead of me because I lose you when you do that. So I get 3x equals minus 3, x equal -1, and that is the A point. What's the Y point? Because they want
4.
A plus B.
It's 4 if you, but
Okay.
yeah.
So that's A.
3. So the answer would be B.
Yeah. Now that's a pretty good problem. That involves a lot of knowledge of algebra. You would agree?
Yeah.
And it's not just 1 or 2 points that each of these problems makes. It is like 4 or 5 different points is what I'm seeing. Let's see, that was 9. Let's do 10. I don't think I need to take a photo of this. Which of those functions of y, or excuse me, which of those y functions, which are functions of x, which of the y functions is always greater than -1? Greater than or equal to, excuse me.
Even if x is 0, all of them are -2 or more down.
What's c if x is 0?
-4.
No, it isn't. It's -2 squared, which is positive 4. So, no matter what integer x is, positive or negative, c is greater than -1. In fact, c is, I cannot make y less than -1. Is there a value? Yeah, no, it's impossible. In other words, if I look at x here, you give me a value for x where y will be less than -1. You can't do it because any number squared is positive. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas a, if x were 0, we'd have -2. B, if x were 0, we'd have -2. And D, if x were 0, we'd have -2. But not C, because it's the whole quantity that's being squared.
Okay.
How do you do 11? Is that a division problem?
No, it's a... You have to multiply by the denominator in order to get I out of the denominator.
So what do I have to multiply by?
8 plus 2i.
8 minus.
8 minus 2i. You got by the,
This is where you do the conjugate.
Okay.
Okay? And this is the only thing I know that you do the conjugate of. In other words, you got to multiply the bottom and the top by the conjugate. And
okay.
what does that give us in the bottom?
That gives us 64 plus
the two middle terms disappear when you FOIL these two things. So it really gives 64
so
minus
4i squared.
What is that number?
That'd be positive 4.
68.
68, yeah.
That's the denominator. Now let's get the numerator. The numerator is what? 24.
Sorry, I was doing math in my head. Plus
minus 6i.
Okay. Minus.
When you're foiling it, just always do it every term.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And then minus 10i squared.
Plus 10.
10i squared.
Okay. And now, if we combine the two real numbers, we get 14. And if we combine the i's, we get minus 46i. Well, notice I can divide top and bottom by 2. So I end up with 7 minus 23i over 34. That is the same answer as that. It's just they've split it up into two fractions.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see if we can get one more done here. Number 12. All right, so we're solving this straightforward algebra problem. We're solving this equation for f. Okay, this equation right here. So what's the second line? I'm going to write it over here and I'm going to solve it over here. Just because I got some writing space.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first step in solving that for f? Always remember, when you're solving equations, get rid of parentheses and denominators. You hate fractions. So we got a denominator here. Let's get rid of it.
So multiply both sides by n plus f.
So that gives us Rn plus Rf equals f. Now, this is a key step. We're solving for f. What do I want to do next? Get every term that has f in it on one side,
Subtract the RF.
everything else on the other. Doesn't matter. If I've got an f in a term, put it all on the same side. If there's no f, put it all on the other side. Now, this is another key step. What do you figure we need to do on the left side?
Divide by r.
How about factor out f?
Okay.
Notice why. Because what we're left with is I can now divide both sides by that r minus 1. And I've solved for f. So f is going to be this divided by r minus 1. Now, that's actually number B. Why? Because r minus 1 is the negative of 1 minus r. So I can really say that this is minus Rn over the minus 1 minus r. Cancel out my two negative signs and I'm left with that, which is that answer. Man, I cannot believe how tough they make these. I mean, they couldn't have given us this answer? That's a hard enough algebra problem as it is. But to complicate it one step further is what's unusual. Now, that is an extremely important concept, and what I'm trying to say is that a minus b divided by b minus a is always negative 1. So they had the answer as 1 minus r instead of r minus 1. So that's an extra negative sign in there. Gets rid of that negative sign that was in the numerator and gives us everything with positive stuff.
Right.
I can only hope your problems aren't going to all be this hard.
Generally, like the problems that they were giving us in the SAT prep class were 10 times easier than this.
Yeah, no, that's my sense also. And I got to believe that they can't give you this hard of problems. So yeah. don't let this demoralize you. I think for whatever reason, and the reason probably is, let me guess at a reason. I'm guessing that the College Readiness College Board also sells a tutoring course.
Yeah.
And the reason their practice tests are so hard is because they want you to fail miserably at them. So you'll buy their tutoring course. Mm-hmm. As opposed to giving you a realistic sampling of the degree of difficulty of problems, which if they did that, you'd realize, wow, you know most of them. You don't need their tutoring course. But I have found that to be true with outfits like Kaplan. I didn't think College Board would be up to that level of manipulation, but maybe they are. Regardless, it didn't hurt you to do these difficult ones. Each of these difficult ones, while difficult, it had like 4 or 5 algebra principles built in. All right, Cole, I'm going to let you go. My next session is the first session I've ever had the way I'm going to do it tonight. I'm doing it without the student. Figure that one out.
All right.
She's on a plane, she can't get internet access, and she's desperate to have 2 problems solved. So she asked me to do a video of those 2 problems without her.
Okay.
Send her the video. How strange is that?
All right. Yeah.
I'll talk to you next Monday. Good
All right, talk next Monday.
Good luck on your test. Have a cup of coffee or tea in the morning and get a good night's sleep.
All right, sounds good.
Bye-bye.